What is going on, my Masketeers? Welcome back to another episode, and today we are going to be talking about Hellraiser 2020. This is going to be the first movie as part of the Halloween special. A whole bunch of scary, demonic things. Lord, please protect my soul. Things I do just to keep you guys entertained. With that being said, let me get into this movie. Essentially, the premise is this. You have something of puzzle box or an artifact, and the artifact in and of itself is able to summon the Cenobites. Now, the Cenobites are basically those weird, deformed creatures. Now, if anybody has watched the original 1980s Hellraiser, you know exactly who they are. And we know the quote-unquote main or the figurehead who is deemed Pinhead by the masses. But funny enough, he's actually referred to as the priest. I know, it's a whole thing. Anyway, it summons them. And what happens is whenever you do one puzzle of the box, it goes off, it cuts you, and the moment you're cut, your blood is literally sucked into the puzzle box, and then you are marked as a sacrifice. And let me say this, these people are extreme BDSM. This is BDSM on crack. This is BDSM without no damn filter. This is like if you had to take it to the extreme and then put some more cocaine on top of it. This is a starting point. And so they come, they sacrifice you. Each time this happens, the puzzle piece will change shape. And so you find out that essentially it has 7 forms. So if you make 7 sacrifices, you will essentially be allowed an audience with their version of God. And then you can basically make one request. Depending on what your request is, you will then be granted it. Now, mind you, each gift has a different ability. Depending on what you ask for, I literally cannot remember off the top of my head what the gifts were. I know there's a gift of resurrection, there's a gift of pleasure, there's a gift of power, there's a gift of knowledge, and then whatever the other 3 are. Again, because these are the BDSM champions, the Cenobites, what they deem as gifts ain't what you're gonna deem as a gift. I tell you that much. When you ask for these gifts, believe it won't come the way you think it will, because there is one character in here. Essentially, he literally made 7 sacrifices, summoned these BDSM gods, made his request, and he asked for pleasure. That was his thing, because again, he was extremely rich and he has lived and experienced everything. So he wanted like the next level. You feel me? He wanted that extra pleasure. Listen, what they gave him, mazza. Absolutely mad. And to be fair, I don't even know what he was expecting. The moment he saw, the way these things looked, he should have known that his version and their version are worlds apart. Just looking at Pinhead alone, or the priest, I would be like, nah, I'm alright. I am absolutely alright. But, you know, greed and all that jazz, he decides to make his request and they honor it. And again, it wasn't what he expected. The film, in and of itself, it follows the journey of a young girl. I shouldn't even call her a girl. It's a young woman. And so she somehow gains possession of the artifact, the puzzle. A whole lot of interesting encounters come from it. And that's the film in a nutshell, without giving too much away. So let me get into the good. I'll say this. These things look disturbing, 100%. Even Pinhead definitely made me feel a way, because the original one, they were deformed or they had a particular look, but again, they didn't really look that weird. They didn't look that off-putting. But this version, all these Cenobites, every single one of them, they literally look terrible. And I'm guessing that's a good thing. They definitely looked a little off, and that's the whole point. I felt that they could have gone more with it. I thought they should have maybe hired some people who are like contortionists. That I feel would have added an extra element to the whole vibe. That's neither here nor there. Moving on, I thought the acting was really good. I was pleasantly surprised, especially I had very low expectations going into this film. So I felt that the acting was good and the pacing was good as well. The surprise that came just past the halfway mark, I'll probably say the 3rd act, I felt was very interesting. I didn't see it coming, but once it did come, it tied everything together quite nicely, and I thought that was kind of cool. And that's all I have to say about the good. Let's get into the bad. I would say the bad for me, there wasn't enough torture. That's one thing which I will say. I thought that visually it looked good, but I felt like it was missing some of the make you feel very awkward moments. And I feel like they kind of set a lot of things up to where they can give you those moments. But a lot of stuff kind of started, but then it would happen off camera, or it would start, but then it would end very quickly, and you didn't really get a sense of the torture element. And for me, for a Hellraiser film, especially in 2022, you can definitely raise the bar. And I feel it had all the elements to do that. I just don't know why they didn't commit to that aspect. So that kind of detracted it from me a little bit. And something for me as well, which didn't make that much sense, was the rules in place. They set a rule in the beginning, but then towards the end of the film, they become very loose with the rules. And here's the thing, this is something you're gonna know about me. I do not like inconsistency within something's own universe. If you have set up the laws within your universe, abide by them. I don't want to hear that, oh, but it's not real. Shut up. If you've made a law within your universe, then that's how it works. Unless you've made it very clear that this is not a law or rule, but it's more of an assumption, and then you reveal the actual way it works, I can live with that. But they didn't do that here. They made a rule and how the thing works only then to kind of make it invalid just to allow the story to continue. I don't like when films do that. I don't like when they have inconsistencies because of plot armor. That's lazy writing to me. Write better. Don't write yourself into a corner. Write out that bitch and keep moving forward. With that being said, and my last negative about the film was I didn't actually get the point of certain people's actions. I felt at a certain point it just didn't make that much sense. So even when a certain reveal happened, I was thinking to myself, this is a little bit far-fetched. Like, why would you do that? So yeah, it happened twice, by the way. Like, people made decisions which to me didn't make any sense, especially when they kind of knew what the situation was. So I just thought that was a little bit odd, but that's a little bit of a nitpick anyway. My verdict for this film, I'm going to give Hellraiser 2022 a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I didn't have that much expectation from it. I thought that it did quite well. It definitely did enough to where if they had to continue the franchise, should I say, then I wouldn't be opposed to it. They can take what they've learned, take the good, and then basically apply just a few tweaks. Just one, the gore and the violence has to be upped, and two, just tighten up the story a little bit and you're good to go. Yeah, those were my thoughts and my opinions on the movie. If you've watched it, let me know. You might need to, say a couple of prayers afterwards. Make sure you're so right. Like always, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you at the next masquerade. Peace. Never chase a bitch.